Questions for the record. Monday, April 24th, 2023. And it is Yom Sheni, Gimel Iyar, 3rd of Iyar, 5783. And we started the 8th cycle in this system of Yeshiva Shem's Puppets, which basically Shem's Puppets is a system. It's called that for a number of reasons. I used to work for a school that dealt with puppets, and they dealt with Talmud study as well. And so Tractate Rosh Hashanah, Masechtas Rosh Hashanah, is 34 dafim, or goes up to page 35, and that accounts for a month and 5 days, because it goes daf 34 and then daf 35 is only one amud, but basically it covers that 35th day as 35 days. It's a month and 5 days. You finish the tractate every month and 5 days. And then day 36 is day 1 of the next cycle. Starting from 35 days before Rosh Hashanah of 83. So we are up to, starting 3rd of Iyar, it's another Rosh Hashanah. It's like the new start is that every month is like a Rosh Hashanah. So 3rd of Iyar is the 8th cycle, 8th year, or 8th Rosh Hashanah of Tractate Rosh Hashanah. And today we started Daf Beis again. And I'm looking at a certain language in the Talmud that it's a little bit difficult for me to understand, that it's talking about a king is, if he is appointed in Adar, even if it's just a few days in Adar, or even just one day in Adar, and then comes Nisan, it's the new year for the king, so it's considered to him like a whole year has passed. And so the Brisa concluded, let's say if one king died in Adar and another succeeded him in Nisan, Monin Rishon el Rishon Ushni el Sheni. You count the first year to the first king and the second to the second. So the Gemara says that's obvious. Why do you have to even say that? So it says no. You need it. You need to say both. If the Brisa's ruling is needed only where they had voted for the new king in Adar, Umelech ben Melechu, and he is the king, the son of a king, you might have thought, in this case, Nimnu le Tarz and Shnin, we count 2 years for him. Kamash Malon, therefore, he informs us that this is not so. So, the language of de'imnu, which means they voted a king, and it just brings into question the relevance. What actually are we talking about with kings? Which Jewish king? And this is a Jewish king. We established later on in the Gemara that it's a Jewish king's New Year, and the non-Jewish king New Year is from Tishrei. So if the Jewish king New Year is from Nisan, then who votes him in? Are you talking about, like, say, from Malachim, David, Shlomo, Rechavam, etc.? Were they voted? Was Rechavam voted in? Who voted him in? But then, it doesn't seem like we'd be talking about that time, because the Gemara the Gemara is establishing laws for the future. But on the other hand, in the times of the Gemara, there were no kings. And in the time of Mashiach, there'll only be one king, which is the Melech HaMashiach. So when is this voting? The first question is, since when is voting done in Jewish kings? It just seems like it goes son after son. Why do you have to vote them in? Do we have proof that a king is voted in? I can't think that it was. It just says he stood to the kingdom and then he died and then he came up. It doesn't say that they were voted. That's the first question. But the second is a little bit more abstract, but it's more like, what's the relevance of this? You'll never have a case where a king is voted, like in all of Jewish history. Because during the reign of the kings, the Gemara wasn't written and the laws weren't made yet. During the time of the Gemara, there were no kings. And in the future, there'll only be one king. So, what's the relevance of it? Unless you're saying it will never ever happen, but just if it would happen, then this would be. That's very abstract. It doesn't seem. I mean, that might be. But anyway, that's my question. That's question number 8. Number 9, I think. I think it's the 9th question, yeah.